A very good morning, good afternoon to you all. The session before us is a panel discussion titled AfLIA Membership, What's in it for me and my library? Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the AfLIA Executive Director, Dr. Helena Asamoah Hassan, the AfLIA Vice President, Professor Rosemary Shafak, the AfLIA Governing Council member present, the national directors of the African national libraries from various and respective countries, staff members from AfLIA Secretariat, representatives of invited institutions, the libraries, the librarians, and the archivists, the records managers, esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. My name is Sarah Negumbo, the Director for Namibia Library and Archive Service, and I am also the chairperson for AfLIA National Library Section. I'll be the moderator for this session, and we plan to engage you for a maximum of 1 hour and 30 minutes. Briefly, AfLIA is an independent international not-for-profit organization pursuing the interest of library and information associations, library and information services, librarians and information workers, and the community they serve in Africa. We are going to hear more about AfLIA very soon. The host of this event is the National Library Section, which is a subcommittee of AfLIA Governing Council, and the section is representing the interest of African National Library Section. Dear participants, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this session. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce our panel member. We are having Professor Rosemary Shafak, who is the Vice President of AfLIA, and she is from Cameroon. Professor Shafak is also a director of the University of Bwera Library and Information Services and an associate professor of Library and Information Service. She is teaching in the undergraduate and graduate program of the Faculty of Education of the University of Bwera. Professor Shafak has served as the chairperson and secretary for the International Federation of Library Association and Institution, AfLIA, the Africa section that was now from 2012 to 2019. Prof is also the recipient of the Award of Female Academic Excellency by the University of Higher Education of Cameroon. That was in 2017. Our next panel member, we are having Ms. Adiswa Mfengu, who is a lecturer and a doctoral candidate at the Department of Knowledge and Information Stewardship at the University of Cape Town in South Africa. Ms. Mfengu is an emerging scholar serving as a vice chair of AfLIA, Library Education and Training Institution, and the chapter assembly representative for the Association of Information Science and Technology, the Africa chapter. Our next panel member, we have Mr. Andonia Katungisa, who is the director of the National Library of Uganda, a body responsible for the collection, preservation, and dissemination of Uganda documentary heritage. Mr. Katungiza is also responsible to oversee the development of the public libraries in the country. Mr. Katungiza is a professional librarian, and he's also a certified trainer for library and information science. Our next panel member, we have Ms. Comfort Asari, who is an assistant librarian at the Wisconsin International University College in Ghana, with 15 years of working experience in the field of librarianship. And she's also a chairperson of the AfLIA National Library Association section. Ms. Asari was the secretary of the Ghana Library Association between 2012 to 2016. And currently, she's the National Vice President of the Ghana Library Association. And then we have Ms. Eunice Jones Arthur, who is the Membership Officer and Administrative Assistant at AfLIA Secretariat in Ghana. Ms. Jones Arthur has been working with AfLIA for the past 5 years, and she has a master's degree in communication and media study from the University of Education, Winneba in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the speakers for today. However, we are also going to have an opportunity for the questions and answer, whereby the audience member will be given an opportunity to interact with the panelists. To take part in the discussion, you are kindly requested to write down your questions on the Q&A platform during the session, and we will sure attend to your questions later. I would also like to encourage the participants to take time and introduce themselves in the chat box. Please indicate your name, the institution you are representing, and the country you are coming from. Dear participants, allow me to invite our first presenter to take the visual floor, Professor Rosemary Shafak, the Vice President of AfLIA, who is going to enlighten us on the historical overview of AfLIA. You are welcome, Madam. While Professor Shafak is taking the floor, I just want to remind the participants just to keep on posting your questions under the Q&A, and we are going to attend to them. Prof. Shafak, you may go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair, Moderator. Good morning, the Executive Director of AfLIA. Good morning, our colleagues from the AfLIA Secretariat. Good morning, colleagues from the African continent. It's my singular pleasure to be part of this very exciting discussion this morning. I'm going to give a brief overview of the history of AfLIA, and I will be sharing my screen. Just a sec. I hope everyone can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen, please?
Yes, please go on.
Okay, I can go ahead, right?
Yes, I can see.
AfLIA.
Prof,
Which
you may
yes,
unmute yourself.
I've unmuted. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, Prof, we can hear you. I can hear you from my end, please.
I can hear you from Uganda.
Okay. AfLIA, as the moderator has said, is an independent international non-for-profit.
Prof. Shafak?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Hello?
Prof, please go ahead. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I was just opening up to say that AfLIA is an independent international non-for-profit organization. It was established in 2013 and registered as an international non-governmental organization in Ghana in October 2014. It has its secretariat in Accra, Ghana. It is the second Continental Library Association in the world after the American Library Association. Yes, please.
Professor?
Yes, I can hear you, please. Hello? Sarah? Hello, colleagues. Stan.
We can hear you, Prof. Shafak. I think Sarah has an issue on her side. Maybe she can't hear you, but we can all hear you.
Okay, let me go ahead, please. I was saying that AfLIA is the second continental association, just like the American Library Association, which is a wonderful thing that has happened to the African continent. And AfLIA pursues the interest of library and information associations, library and information services, librarians and information workers, and the community they serve on the African continent. AfLIA is the trusted voice of the African library and information community in Africa's development. So it is an association that we all have to put our hands on deck to make sure it grows from strength to strength. It derives equitable access to information and knowledge for all. AfLIA believes in professionalism and inclusivity, integrity, transparency, and accountability. It also is very daunting when it comes to innovation and creativity, customer focus, and access to information as human rights. So all of these are things that every LIS professional will want to be part. Indeed, AfLIA connects Africa's library and information communities. And if you are a LIS professional on the African continent, you cannot afford not to be part of AfLIA. The AfLIA has very clear-cut, a very clear-cut vision, mission, and core values. Like I said, it is the trusted voice of the African library and information community. Its mission is to empower the library and information community to actively promote the African development agenda. You know that we are talking about sustainable development now. And if we are all scattered as libraries or library services or information services, we may not be able to have the strength to carry on our development, to support this sustainable development that our continent needs. And so AfLIA stands strong and tall as that kind of organization that can make it happen. Concerning its core values, I've already mentioned them in the introductory part. The history of AfLIA is very clear and succinct. AfLIA's history can be traced to the first African Library Summit organized by the University of South Africa, held in Mosterdrift, South Africa in May 2011, with the theme, The Future of African Librarianship. It was during that library summit that critical thoughts on the future of librarianship for the continent started or happened. The conference brought together prominent African information professionals to discuss the future of librarians in Africa, the need to investigate the formation of a Continental African Library Association, which will provide a platform to discuss issues and further the cause of the library and information sector in Africa, was agreed at this first African Library Summit in Pretoria. An exploratory committee was charged with the task and mandated to report back to the AfLIA Africa section. At that time, the AfLIA Africa section was the major body that was tracking the future of the information profession on the continent at the time. After extensive consultations with stakeholders, the exploratory committee recommended the formation of the African Library and Information Associations and Institutions, AfLIA, which was accepted by the AfLIA Africa section. An interim committee was elected at the midterm meeting of AfLIA Africa section in February 2013 in Abuja, Nigeria, to manage the affairs of AfLIA for 2 years. The African Library and Information Associations and Institutions was formally launched on Friday, to be precise. That's the birthday of AfLIA, was Friday, 5th July, 2013, during the second African Library Summit hosted by the University of South Africa, UNISA, in Pretoria, South Africa. So that is actually the birth date of AfLIA. A general meeting of members was held at the third African Library Summit and first AfLIA conference in Accra, Ghana on 2nd June 2015. During this general meeting, the consultation was amended. The constitution for AfLIA, was amended and approved, and a newly elected governing council, including section chairs, took office. So AfLIA was enshrined in Accra, Ghana. And so you will see that naturally, AfLIA taking off the ground was in Accra, Ghana, and having its headquarters in Accra, Ghana is just natural to my mind, to my humble mind. AfLIA represents an important platform to discuss issues and further the cause of the library and information sector at the continental level. So as far as the African continent is concerned, anything concerning the LIS profession is in the hands of AfLIA. Although there are national and regional library associations on the continent, their scope and focus are limited to either their country or region taking into consideration the continental library issues. Although the idea of having a continental association may have been nursed by some African librarians in the past, it only came to light in 2013 when a firm decision was made based that was agreed upon to create this beautiful association, Continental Association. Now, given this under the general guidelines of a constitution and bylaws. The governing body of the association is the council, which shall have power to act on behalf of the association in all matters except those reserved in the constitution to members at an annual or special general meeting. In addition, there shall be committees and sections of the association as provided in the bylaws. You will see that the way I've captured these aspects of the AfLIA constitution is actually how it is stated there. AfLIA has a governing council headed by a president assisted by a vice, a secretariat headed by an executive director working with directors, project managers, financial staff, etc. So you see that we have a well-structured secretariat headed by the executive director who sees the routine functioning of this organization. The routine functioning of the organization is quite critical. And you will see that when you look at the welfare and the well-being and the future and the charting of the structure of AfLIA, the executive director, who is the first and has been there, has laid a very strong foundation and a very strong secretariat that is going to all kinds of places and is up to speed, competing with other organizations, other international organizations that share the same vision of information. And so it has a very strong secretariat. And this secretariat has well-crafted responsibilities, as we have seen, and supported by the Constitution and the bylaws. So it's not an organization that has loopholes or is not structured in a way that anybody can be able to follow up. If you go to the AfLIA website, you will share the same vision or the same view that I have. The current governing council is presented on a Word document that I will show you, maybe at the end of this presentation. It has a website from where information concerning its structure, mission, objectives, activities, etc., can be gotten, and is as follows. That's a website URL, and you can go there and get any information that you want to get, and also know the official that you can contact in case of any specific worries. And so AfLIA is so well structured, it's so well organized. It has a website that is updated on a daily basis. And so there are no lacunas that, that will make maybe just a new member to be wondering where to go to, what to know about AfLIA and so on. Even the membership, it is clearly outlined how you can become a member. And so please, it's good to note that website address, so that you can meet that point. Now, I thought that it would be important to know why a Continental Library Association for Africa. I've mentioned it, but I want to still lay some emphasis on it. There is a need for a single voice in Africa to pursue the interests of librarians and information associations, library and information services, librarians and information workers, and the communities they serve on the continent. It is important to have one voice, because when we are together, we are stronger. But when we are single, each one is doing their own thing, we are quite weak, and so we cannot do what many hands can do. And like the cliches goes, that many hands are better than one, or many heads are better than one. And so AfLIA is just the right organization to help, to help bring together the information services and information least professionals, so that together we can pull down mountains in our profession. This organization is better placed to advocate for Africans, and since they're all made up of Africans, because we know the places we should go, we know how to go about the nooks and crannies of our own continent, and we are familiar with our cultures. And so it is easier for Africans to handle their own affairs and run their own races, rather than waiting just for people who may not really know who we are to do so. Managing our library development affairs ourselves, since we know how to do it better. Yes, nobody can know your house better than you. And so AfLIA is actually made up by us, and so we are able to know how our house is like. We can collaborate with national and public libraries and national library associations to put innovative public library services on any agenda that can bring fruits. It's only that one organization, that umbrella organization, that can help do that. We cannot do that individually and be successful. AfLIA is out to collaborate with several foreign players in library development on the continent to speak with each other. You know that the structure, if we pool our resources together under the AfLIA platform, it's easy for it to convince any partner in any part of the world that we can do it. AfLIA needs to be there because developing more library leaders for today and tomorrow can only be done by a structure like that. Individually, our resources are so weak that we cannot do much. And even our internal rules and regulations cannot permit us to do many things, but AfLIA that stands out as our umbrella institution can do it for us. And so you see, it's playing the leading role in assisting libraries in Africa to realize the demands of the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and the African Union 2060 Agenda, the Africa we want. And you see that even the declarations that have happened on the continent or in parts of the world, like the Cape Town African Ministers Declaration and the AfLIA LAP project, we have, ever since it was done, it has been challenging for individual library services to push it forward, but AfLIA is doing it for us. The African Library and Information Association and institution works with libraries and national library associations, which is difficult for an individual library to do. It works with governments, it works with government agencies responsible for libraries. It works, in every region, Africa regional and economic bodies, global partners and related organizations, which is something that is difficult for us to do. And when you go online to the AfLIA website, you will see its clear objectives. And the clear objectives have been enshrined in what I've said before, but when you go there, you'll see more. But I've just put a single slide there to show you its clear objectives, its key objectives that make it what it is.
Prof.
Yes.
Shafak, if you could please conclude.
Yes, I'm concluding soon.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yeah, thank you,
Yes,
Prof.
I just want to show you some of the activities in pictures that AfLIA has had. That is AfLIA conferences and activities. I will just go through and also show you AfLIA partners. And that will bring me to my conclusion. So you just be seeing the slides as they come up. You see AfLIA is doing quite some work with copyright. You can see AfLIA collaboration with Tasha. You can see some of the conferences AfLIA has organized in the past. 8 days of AfLIA. You can see the discussions to tell you that AfLIA has gone a long way and is getting quite mature and experienced. You can see it's, and then when it comes to partners, you just see the various partners that AfLIA has: Biblioteca Alexandrina, Tasha, the Council of Library and Information Resources, Wikipedia, CLIP, you can see all of them, AfLIA, Goethe Institute, and I want to thank you for your keen attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President, for the background information. I encourage the audience to start sending their questions to the Q&A and we'll attend to them. I would like to invite Ms. Eunice Jones Arthur, who is the AfLIA membership, just to enlighten us on the different types of AfLIA membership. Ms. Jones Arthur, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you. The Vice President of AfLIA, Professor Rosemary Shafak, the Executive Director of AfLIA, Dr. Helena Samwa-Hassan, heads of sections in AfLIA, fellow colleagues of AfLIA, panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Here at AfLIA, we are keen on increasing or broadening the membership numbers and getting all libraries in Africa registered as members of AfLIA. The AfLIA membership fees for the various library categories currently is as follows. One, we have the International Library Association. They pay a membership fee of $200. We have the National Library Association, NLA. Then under the National Library Association, we have we have categories. We have the small group, the smallest group, that is the 1 to 100 members, they pay an amount of $100. And then we have the medium, that's the 101 to 250 members, they pay $200. And then we have the large or over 250 members, they pay a membership fee of $500. We have the National Library Consortia, they pay a membership fee of $200. We have the National Library, and then they have a subgroup under them. That's the smallest group pays, subgroup is made up of 1 to 50 employees. And then they pay a membership fee of $150. And then we have the medium, that is the 51 to 100 employees. They pay a membership fee of $200. Then we have the large, that's over 100 employees, and they pay a membership fee of $400. We have the academic library. Under the academic library, the students in the institution, an institution has determine the amount of membership fee an institution pays. We have the small group, that's the 1 to 5,000 students. They pay membership fee of $100. And then we have the large, that is the 10,000 to 50,000 students in the institution. They pay a membership fee of $200. And then we have the very large, that's the over 50,000 students. They pay a membership fee of $300. We have the public library. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the community library. They pay a membership fee of $40. We have the school library. They pay a membership fee of $40. We have the special library. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the information and documentation center, sorry. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the Library and Information Training Institution. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the Library Nonprofit Organization, NGO. They pay a membership fee of $200. We have the Library and Information Related Business, and then they pay a membership fee of $500. We have also the Registration Council. They pay a membership fee of $100. There's the Corporate Member Library. They pay a membership fee of $500. We have the Parliament Library. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the Research Library. They pay a membership fee of $100. We have the Regional Library Association. They pay a membership fee of $200. We have the recently approved by AfLIA Governing Council. We have the personal individual, and then they pay a membership fee of $50. And then we have the Friends of AfLIA. There's a group consisting of, it depends on their voluntary contribution. That's not less than $50. Although the Friends of AfLIA category is mainly for retired librarians and for those in the diaspora who want to become members of AfLIA, those interested would still have to complete the AfLIA membership form and submit them to membership@aflia.net. So with this, would encourage more libraries to register, more librarians, to register their institutions to become members of AfLIA. They can do this by visiting our website to fill out our membership forms and then submit them to membership@aflia.net. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jones-Arthur. The different types of AfLIA membership are well articulated to us. I'm sure the audience could identify in which category they fall into. We are moving forward. Earlier on, I have introduced the panel members before you. They are ready to discuss and share their experience with AfLIA. Without wasting time, let me start with Mr. Katungisa. Mr. Katungisa, briefly tell the audience the mandate of your institution, the users you are serving, and its relationship with AfLIA. Mr. Katungisa, the floor is yours. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Madam Moderator Sarah. My Vice President, the Vice President of AfLIA, the AfLIA Secretariat, my former coach, Dr. Nkema, during my time at the AfLAC Academy, fellow panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen. As I have already been introduced, my name is Adonia Katumisa, the Director National of Uganda, and the National Board of Uganda is the government of Uganda body that is mandated to collect, preserve, and disseminate Uganda's documented heritage, and to also oversee and provide the supportive role to public and community libraries. And currently, we have more than 100 community libraries and 46 public libraries that we are working with. As far as Sarah?
Thank you, Mr. Katungisa. May I please invite Ms. Andy Swamfengu to come through and give us her view on the first question. Ms. Andy Swam.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and greetings, colleagues. As Sarah has mentioned the question, so my institution, I'm with the University of Cape Town. So we are part of the library and training section. So we are a postgraduate only school, and we train, of course, in library studies and related fields. And of course, and that includes museums, archives, and related. And we one of the oldest schools in the continent. And yeah, so as I mentioned, we're a postgraduate only school, and we've been a member of AfLIA for a few years. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. May I please invite Ms. Comfort Asare to comment on the first question?
Thank you so much, Sarah, Madam Moderator, for this, and also thank you so much, AfLIA, for this opportunity to have this engagement. And first of all, I'm coming from Ghana, and then specifically, I work with Wisconsin International University.
Sarah, we seem to have lost Comfort.
And our mandate is that we want to develop a world-class and human resource
Ms. Asare? Ms. Asare?
Please, can you hear me?
We can't hear you properly. If you can just raise your voice a bit.
Yes, and is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And as I said, I'm Comfort, and I'm speaking from Ghana, and I work with the Wisconsin International University College. And the mandate of our institution is to develop world-class human resource equipped with appropriate knowledge, skills, and attitude to meet development needs and global challenges through quality teaching, learning, research, knowledge dissemination, and collaboration with key stakeholders. The users that we serve are faculty, students, alumni, and some working visitors. And also our relationship with AfLIA is that we are a member of AfLIA. So in brief, that is something of my institution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're moving on. The next question is, ever since your institution joined AfLIA, kindly highlight the benefits or rather the support your institution and your country receive from AfLIA. And I would like Ms. Mfengu to give it a go.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So as I mentioned, we are a training, of course, a library school where we train postgraduate students. And we've been a member of AfLIA for a few years. And I think more than anything, what I would highlight for my institution, what we've benefited from AfLIA, it's the networking. Not just, we could network with our library association nationally, but being able to network internationally and throughout the continent. And also the ability to contribute to the discipline and also to the conversation that's going around in terms of training and capacity building in the continent. That has been a great benefit for us as a school. But also personally, I remember in 2019, I actually I got an opportunity to participate in the third roundtable of African ministers responsible for public library in my capacity as an emerging African library leader, which was held in Accra in 2019. So that was a great opportunity to be able to contribute to the policy paper that was being written for the ministers in that roundtable. And of course, this was a trip that AfLIA, that was fully paid by AfLIA. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. May I invite Ms. Asare to comment on the second question?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. On the benefits of AfLIA to my institution, I would like to look at it from 3 different perspectives, and these are based on objectives of AfLIA. One is access to information. When you look at this, we know that we all need information to be able to survive and to be able to push our profession forward. So day in and day out, AfLIA always gives us access to some of these information, which is relevant to our day-to-day work as information professionals. And then when you come to capacity and building, we've had opportunity to take part in a number of training workshops and webinars and all. And I believe this is something that is that has helped us so much as information professionals, not just my institution, but when you look at it in totality, and that is for Ghana. And then also AfLIA also gives us the opportunity to do presentations at conferences. I remember in 2013, we got the opportunity of doing a presentation with my boss in Accra when the first AfLIA International Conference was organized here in Ghana. And then when you look at it from the point of the association level, AfLIA has collaborated with the Ghana Library Association a couple of times during our AGMs, and also I think we benefit so much as an institution, as a country, from these workshops that we have. And also, let me also drive towards that of the country, the benefits of AfLIA for the country as a whole. There are a number of information professionals in Ghana who have participated in some of these programs that have been run by AfLIA. One is the AfLIA Leadership Academy. We have the International Network of Emerging Leaders and the Initiative for Young African Librarians. That's what, as I said, it's not just my institution. But when you look at it from the perspective of Ghana as a whole, I think the institution or the country too has also benefited. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. May I invite Mr. Katungiza? What's your take on that? Mr. Katungiza?
Thank you so much. I must say that we are privileged as Uganda and the National Library particularly to be associated with AfLIA. And regarding the support, I must say to begin with, AfLIA has been very fundamental in as far as building our institutional capacity is concerned. Through AfLIA's many programs, if I could mention the AfLAC, the African Leadership Academy, we have had a number of Ugandan librarians. To be specific, we have had 3 National Library staff attend and graduate from this academy. We have also had a number of community librarians also attending to a number of AfLIA programs. AfLIA in the SAF program is one of them. And with these trainings that we have attained, I must say that our librarians' capacity has been built in such a way that it has been helpful in as far as providing library information services are concerned. Not only the staff capacity, but we have also had public and national library of Uganda benefiting from a number of development projects. And these have been implemented within the public libraries, within the communities. And examples of these are the local content project, which we implemented in partnership with the World Reader and with support from AfLIA. And because of this capacity building that we have attained, our advocacy, lobbying, and partnership skills have been improved, so that even individually, we are in a position at least to be able to forge some synergies with some government partners, so that we have a number of projects implemented within our communities. We have, by being a member of AfLIA, we have also been able to attend a number of public librarian summits, where our staff, or Ugandan librarians, have been able to at least interact with the librarians from across the world and Africa as a way of benchmarking our library services. I have also been privileged to attend, as the National Librarian, attend the ministers' round table of those ministers from Africa that are responsible for libraries. And I must say that because of this, at least our governments have been able to appreciate the role that libraries are playing as far as information provision, as far as development is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Katungiza. We move on. Hearing the support that are being received from AfLIA, was your institution able to achieve some of the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, as through AfLIA? Please enlighten the audience. Ms. Asare, can you please have a go to that one?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. I think one thing that I want to focus my response on is the issue of quality education, and this is SDG 4 for all. Okay, as we know, education is a human right and a force for sustainable development, which will enable people to build their lives and contribute to their society. So, ensuring quality education should not just be the responsibility of the government, but as a regional body, we also have something to contribute. And this is something that I think AfLIA is also playing its role. AfLIA is helping members to come up to learn new things that are happening in our profession. Day in and day out, some of these programs that are rolled out, I believe we are picking so much. We are learning new trends in librarianship, and then it helps us to be able to push out information, to disseminate information properly to our end users. So I think when you talk about quality education, it is something that we need to brace ourselves up with, and then we'll push it forward. AfLIA is behind us, and if we're able to take advantage of some of the opportunities that AfLIA is offering us, I believe we can go far. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Asare. Mr. Katungiza, what's your take to that question?
Thank you, Madam Sai. As you all very well know, that libraries play a key role in as far as achieving the Sustainable Development Goals is concerned. And looking at the targets that are specified in the UN 2030, access to information is almost appearing everywhere. And therefore, our involvement with AfLIA and those capacities, those support that we have received from AfLIA, I must say that our libraries, particularly the public and the National Library, have been able to involve themselves in ensuring that these sustainable development goals are concerned. Therefore,
you may go ahead, sir.
If I could be specific, our libraries have been very essential in as far as providing access to information is concerned, ensuring that public access to information and communication technology is concerned, helping people to develop some capacity. Here in Uganda, because of these trainings and the support we receive from AfLIA, we have also been able to, at least in part, to build provide the information. Also preserving the information so that we ensure that ongoing access for both the present and the future is concerned has been ensured. Library associations and public library representatives can also now easily participate in advocacy work at the national, regional, and international level to see that information access at least is ensured across all sectors.
Thank you, Mr. Katungiza. Ms. Mfengu, please come in to that question.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Yes, SDGs, I think they're quite critical in what we do as library institutions and library training institutions specifically. For our school, this is quite critical on how do we, in terms of capacity building, how do we actually update our curriculum to make sure that our librarians are able to understand how they can contribute, or even general information specialists, how they can contribute to the achievement of these SDGs, but not just being able to contribute, but also how do we communicate this to the policymakers. So that has been the role that we've actually been looking at. So looking at how do we equip and train our future librarians in order to contribute to these, and also being able to advocate and communicate this to the stakeholders and stuff like that. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Mfengu. The African Union Agenda 2063 is aspiring with a united voice to paint a picture of what we desire for ourselves, for the future generation, and also the continent at large. How is AfLIA assisting your institution to achieve its target towards the African Agenda 2063, which culminate into the Africa we want? Mr. Katungiza, can you please give us your view?
Thank you, Sarah. As it has already been mentioned, that AfLIA has been a voice for the African-based institutions and professionals. I know in many of African Union summits, AfLIA has been participating by raising the voice of the African librarians. And because of this, looking at the agenda, we realize that information provision and access is almost appearing everywhere, which now helps us as countries, as the institutions, when we are trying to provide our services, at least they are benchmarked with it. Was not because of AfLIA's voice, wouldn't be having many of these said. And because of this, at least in many of our national development programs and plans, at least libraries are being catered for here and there. So I think if, for example, you look at each of the 7 aspirations that are provided for in the African Union agenda, they all, either directly or indirectly, refer to the contribution that libraries can play due to the provision and access of information in whatever agenda we are looking at. So I think this is very important, and it is because of AfLIA's involvement in the African Union that we are seeing all this.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Mfengu.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And yes, the African Union Agenda 2063 and AfLIA are helping us in meeting and achieving those targets. This being part of AfLIA has been very grateful. And of course, as an institution, as a training institution, we are very grateful to be part of AfLIA. And this has been wonderful in the sense that, I mean, I earlier mentioned the idea of being part of this network, that if we were not part of AfLIA, we would not be afforded to, it will probably end at a national level, but being part of this network that is internationally, so being able to be part of the conversation that is happening continent-wide, and the experiences of the librarians on the ground, and being able to translate that in terms of our training to see where are the needs and where are the gaps that we have, and how can we actually make sure that our curriculum is aligned to that. But also as a school, AfLIA has helped us to see what role we can play in achieving these targets. Because it's one thing to continue with the curriculum we've had for the past 10 years or so, but if we are in part of these conversations, whether through the conferences, through different webinars and meetings, then we can be able to actually revise our curriculum and make it transformative and relevant so that we can achieve this agenda. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Ms. Mfengu. Ms. Asare, please share your views on the African Union Agenda 2063.
I think it's an order. It's an agenda in the right order, because if again I should bring it down to my institution, or if we should look at some of the current statistics that we have, okay, it shows that by the year 2050 we will have about 840 million Africa's growing population, okay, being amongst the young group and that. And then also according to UNESCO's report, okay, when you come to the African continent, we have about 91 researchers per 1 million inhabitants, as compared to 2083 in the developed regional body, and then the role that is playing, and then trying to bring us together as a common force to forge our agenda for it. I believe by 2063, we'll be able to get the Africa that we are all looking at, because some of the things that we get from Africa, we learn new things, we get opportunity to network, we learn and we get opportunity to pick up ideas. And when these things are picked, we narrow it down to our various institutions, our various countries. So once we are able to build ourselves well and then come together and then move forward, I believe that in the next 50 years or so, we'll be able to get the Africa that we want. We'll be united. And then one other thing that I would like to also stress on is the fact that I remember AfLIA has started an initiative to bring together all Africans, like having a database for all librarians in Africa and those in the diaspora. With this action, or with this unity, or with this build-up kind of, I believe we can push forward the agenda of librarians, information professionals on the continent, and then get a united front and then push whatever I want to push out to people that are found in the African continent. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Given that your institution is a member of AfLIA, what are your advice to potential institutions that are considering to join AfLIA? Ms. Mfengu?
Thank you very much, Sarah. I think, just to answer this, as being part of AfLIA, you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain, actually. I think we've all three panelists, we've shared our benefits and how we've benefited as an institution, and also how we've benefited personally. And I think more than anything, and also with the individual membership now being introduced, so one does not necessarily just has to join as an institution, but you can join as a member for $50. I think that's a very good initiative from AfLIA. And the more diverse voices we have, the more we can build a stronger LIS in Africa. So I do really encourage everyone to join AfLIA, and not just join, but also to contribute to the different sections that we have, whether you're an academic library, public library, a training institution. And personally, I can say it's been such a fulfilling experience to not just be a member, but also to contribute to the different sections. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you. Ms. Comfort, what's your take on that?
Our advise institutions that are planning to come on board to do so, because just as Adizwe said, there's nothing to lose when you join AfLIA. There are so many opportunities, because if I may use myself as an example, I've had the opportunity to do some kind of presentations at AfLIA programs, and then also currently, as we speak now, I'm a council member. So these are some of the benefits that you get as an individual. And when you join as an institution, there are so many things that you get. You get opportunity to collaborate and network with librarians who are not found in your country. And through this networking, you get the advantage of the opportunity to get resources that are not easily, readily available in our respective countries. So whoever wants to join, any institution that wants to join, I just want to encourage them. There are so many things that you can pick from AfLIA. The training sessions are there, the webinars are there, the workshops are there. Let's join and then pick up things, learn new things on what is happening in our profession. And I believe with us, we can go far. So all institutions, all individuals are encouraged to come on board, and then let's push the agenda of AfLIA forward. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Katugiza, please come in very briefly.
Doing an assessment to myself as a person and a national library, I must also add my voice to my fellow panelists that there is a lot to benefit from being a member of AfLIA, as I've already pointed out. Two, as already said, that AfLIA is the voice for African police institutions and professionals, and therefore, as stakeholders, I think AfLIA needs our participatory and support if they are to lead us in lobbying and advocating for these issues across the continent. And three, I think my advice would be that everybody should join, and just like together we stand divided in fall, and therefore, if AfLIA is to at least remember for us with one voice, this will be possible if we all join as members. And lastly, I want to say that to all those potential members, those who wish to join AfLIA, I think tomorrow is rather late. So we better join and be members of AfLIA now so that we are able to benefit from these benefits that the members have already seen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, my panelists, for the informative session. As you have just shared with the audience, your relationship with AfLIA. We are now at the point where we have to give the audience a chance so that they can interact with us, where they have to ask their question as they have posted them on the Q&A. While we are gathering the questions, I just would like to inform you that among us, we have the presence of Dr. Nkem Osingwe, who is the Human Capacity Development and Training Director at the AfLIA Secretariat. And I would like to invite Dr. Nkem just to share with us, because some of the audience members are representing archives and record centers, and they don't come from a typical library setup. Perhaps Dr. Nkem could come in very briefly just to share or rather assure the participants how they are also catered for by AfLIA. Dr. Nkem?
Thank you very much, Sarah. I hope that you can all hear me. Like you're asking, what is in it for record managers, archivists? And like we are doing for all library types, we are running advocacy for a better operating environment for them, especially as pertains to copyright issues. Also, right now, AfLIA is working on having a Pan-African emergency preparedness plan, especially for archivists and so on, so that we can help them preserve their rare materials. Also, we are reaching out to see the possibility of having a central lab for conservation, and that lab will also run trainings for African archivists, record managers, and of course, librarians. So AfLIA is doing all that, and it may not be clear to them now, but we hope that before the end of the year that all these things will come online. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Nkem. We move on with the questions as you have posted them on the Q&A. There was a question which was posted that on the membership fee. Does it mean that a national association will join with $100? Then the member also join individually? Maybe just a clarification to that. Ms. Jones, Arthur, or Secretariat?
Hello, Sarah. Can you please read the question again?
A question on the membership fees. Does it mean that a national association will join with $100 and then the members only join individually?
Hello. Yes, it is possible. It's possible for a member to join individually and then the association to also be member of AfLIA.
Okay, thank you. I hope that clarifies the question. The one audience is also asking, I would like to know if there's any possibility of online payment, because sometimes we find it a problem to pay from our local bank.
Yes, we are working on it, and very soon it will be possible for us to do that, the online payments. Thank you.
Okay, there is also a concern that $100 are too much for public libraries, especially in French-speaking areas. They don't understand the importance of libraries, and most of the libraries are not budgeted for. Could AfLIA revise the amount as in the past to be about $50? Because usually professionals are the ones even paying for their institutions. there's a concern, Secretariat.
Hello, can I say something here? I know that some community libraries do not pay up to $100. I think that some pay as low as $50. So it depends, because somebody had asked, why are the fees different for different libraries? And we said that it's always a consideration of the size, because in Africa, we have this proverb that all fingers are not equal. So it wouldn't be fair for AfLIA to ask big libraries to pay $250 and then ask small libraries to pay the same amount. So that is why it is graduated, so that we can have a perfect fit for everyone, for every institution, for every library organization. Then somebody had also asked why is it that a National Library Association will pay and then individuals will pay too? The National Library Organization can answer for themselves, yes, as members of AfLIA. Like AfLIA is a member of IFLA. That notwithstanding, the members of our members are also individual members of IFLA. And that is the same thing here. Even if your National Library Association is a member of AfLIA, that is good, that is wonderful. But that doesn't stop your library or you personally, when your library can be a member. It doesn't stop you from being a member of AfLIA, because there are benefits for each one, for each group. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nkem. There are questions, hands up on the floor. Can we give a chance to their colleagues to ask their questions? Okay, while they are getting ready, there's also a question that was raised. Is there any way trainings and activities of AfLIA is restricted to only members? I'm not sure if the participants would want the...
Yes, some trainings can only be assessed by members, because we are a membership organization. We work for our members. So that is why some trainings are restricted to them, while some are open to everyone. Like webinars, anybody can attend, but the critical ones, like the ones that we did for INELISAF, the ones that we did for AFLAC, the one that we did for Media Literacy Week, the ones that we are still going to do, the entire scope of open educational resources, that will be for our members. So yes, there are some just for members, the core ones, and then there are some that anybody can attend, because we know that everyone is there, but there are some for those people that have fully identified with AfLIA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nkem. There's also another question. Can one, I think this was answered, but maybe just an emphasis. Can one register as an individual? Because it's not all institutions that have interest to be a member of AfLIA. And then it goes on. I know nothing was mentioned about the procedure to become a member. What do I do to become a member? Ms. Jones, maybe you can clarify quickly.
Eunice can answer that. I think that, Eunice, if you can send that email address, where people will have to write, because we require you to write. We send you the form to know where you belong to. Is it an individual membership? Is it a library with is it a big library? Is it a small one? Is it an NGO? So Eunice should send us that email in the chat so that everyone can see it, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. There was also another question. Interesting that individual librarians can join the Continental body. Are we not member by virtue of our membership to our national association? Ms. Jones Arthur or Secretariat? Dr. Sam? Dr. Nkem.
Hello,
Hello,
Sarah.
I
Can
didn't
you
get.
ask the question again?
Yeah, I didn't get.
They asking like they can join the Continental body, but are they not members by virtue of their membership of the association? When an association is a member of AfLIA, does it mean the staff member or the individuals are also members, or how does it work? That's the question.
Okay, let me answer this. If it's fine. Okay, it is assumed or it is well known that once your association is a member, you are a member automatically by institution because AfLIA, formerly we were identifying institutions and now we allow individual membership. The point is, your association has only one vote in AfLIA when it comes to voting. And the reason why AfLIA talks about institutional membership, or we encourage institutions or even individual institutions especially to register, is that once your institution is registered, your institution also has a vote. And so when we are sending letters or anything out, we send it to our members. Fine, your association is one association in the whole country. And assuming you are in Ghana here and you are in a remote area, your institution is not a member, and you even hardly come to your association meetings, how often will you get the news or get the information of what is happening in AfLIA and what AfLIA is up to? But once you are registered as an institution, you get that information directly, and your leadership in the organization can take decision for you, or if you are the one in charge, you can take decision that I want 1, 2, 3 staff from my institution to attend this particular meeting or attend this particular training. Remember that there are a lot of institutions under the association, and so if they are supposed to select, before they will select and get to your institution, maybe in about 5, 10 years before they will remember that your institution is also there. That is the reason why we encourage institutional membership. And even now we are encouraging individual membership so that those whose institutions are not members, you can get information directly from AfLIA and also learn about things. For instance, some of these trainings that is going to be for members, if you are a member and you get the information, you can decide to attend because you are a member and you qualify. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Appiah. There's a question that keep on coming up. It's about individual membership fees and how much for this type of membership. And I think we have the email addresses of the participants. We are going to email this information to all the colleagues. But what I would want Secretariat or Ms. Jones Arthur to touch on, we have different types of benefits. They are not just limited to training. Maybe we can touch more on that. Ms. Jones Arthur or Secretariat.
All right. If Eunice, are you ready or I should continue?
Please do for me.
All right. So AfLIA represents all libraries at a high level advocacy for during meetings. For instance, AfLIA now has an observer status at the AU and then also at WIPO. So whenever AfLIA goes there to talk, we talk on behalf of libraries. And so once your association is a member of AfLIA, there is that high level of advocacy for libraries in Africa. Again, because of this, our meetings or summits, ministers' summits, AfLIA ensures that we talk to ministers one-on-one. Whenever there is a meeting or there is a conference and AfLIA attends, we ensure that we meet government representatives to also advocate for good policies to be added onto national policies for libraries. And this is one of the numerous benefits that we have. It is only associations or associations that are members of AfLIA that can invite us to attend their meetings. And when we go there, we advocate at the high level for the country or the libraries in country. There is also access to free leadership training, like we said. It may not be completely free, but if you look at all the things that goes in, for instance, traveling across from your country to other countries. For example, with the AfLIA Leadership Academy, they had the opportunity to travel to US. The amount that you are paying or you are contributing as a commitment fee cannot pay your flight for you to travel, or cannot even pay for your convening. And so these are some of the things. You have access to training, leadership trainings that will enhance you as a librarian, and in effect, enhance your library or even spread across your country to help other librarians also learn from what you have learned. You become a leader in your country, in your community, or wherever you stand to help other members. Some of the trainings, like I said, AfLIA, we have INELI, which I know most people are aware. We have IALI, that was a collaboration between AfLIA and IFL. And then we also have the SAIL, which was also one of the trainings that we were organizing. Again, we have subsidized registration fees at the conferences, at our conferences for members. It is only members who enjoy that benefit. If you are not a member, you cannot have that subsidized conference fee. For instance, if non-members are paying $500, you may have the opportunity to pay $450 for your fees, for your conference attendance. We also have continuous professional development, like workshops and free webinars like what we are doing now. We are all aware of how AfLIA helped librarians during or before the COVID, and especially during the lockdown, the global lockdown. You can bear with us, or you can agree with us, the number of webinars we had, educative webinars, that has gone a long way to actually impact positively on librarians and even on their libraries and their communities. And so these are some of the benefits. And then you also have the opportunity to contribute your voice to the development of libraries in Africa. You also have the opportunity to even vie for a position as a council member if you are a member of AfLIA. Non-members don't have that opportunity. It is exclusively for members of AfLIA to vie. But here, let me clarify this. As an individual member, it will be, okay, let me leave that one for later. I think that one will be better clarified by the executive director, but these are some of the benefits that we can have. I think I've mentioned about 5 and I've explained them into detail, 6 or so, 6. So those are the other benefits that we have as AfLIA members. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Appiah. We are running out. Yes,
sorry, Sarah.
Please go ahead.
There's a question there in French. It's good to handle that. There's a question in French.
Okay, Prof, can you please read for us and explain?
Okay. The question is, pourquoi l'AfLIA ne traduit pas les communications en français? That is, what the person is worried about is that, why is it that AfLIA is not translating its documents into French? I was just thinking that we should not leave it closed without saying something to that effect.
All right.
Why is AfLIA not translating its documents into French? That's a question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I know some of our documents are translated into French and then even into Portuguese languages. And so if the person can also point us to documents that has not been translated and we need to translate. The issue here is those to translate for our documents, they all want to charge fees, but we, for instance, I am expecting that as a member of AfLIA, you can also help as someone who understands your language or a French from the French-speaking country. You can contribute to AfLIA by helping us to translate some of these documents so that your colleagues in that category will be able to have access or understand the documents that are not being translated. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me just quickly chip in that.
Okay.
Yeah, the materials as has been. So for instance, Prof, your presentation, we'll do all to translate it in French. And then if the membership officer is to put the other information that was shared into a presentation, all of those materials coming from this webinar will be translated and circulated to everybody. So I think we've taken notice of, it wasn't only the French, there was one other complaint from one Arabic attendee. And so we've taken that, and we'll do all to work on the materials, and I'm sure the understanding will come from they engaging the materials that will be translated in their languages. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Secretariat, for clarifying some of the questions and also for giving information. Dear participants, we are coming almost at the end of our session. Allow me, I would want to encourage the participants to get in touch with us, contact us at AfLIA Secretariat so that we can share more information with you. I would like to invite Ms. Jones-Arthur to give us the vote of thanks and also the closing remarks. Ms. Jones-Arthur, the virtual floor is yours.
Yes, please. Thank you. Ms. Negombo. All protocols have been duly observed. I take the opportunity to thank the moderator, Ms. Sarah Negumbo, Chairperson of AfLIA National Library and Director of Namibia Library and Archive Service, the panelists, Professor Rosemary Shafak, Vice President of AfLIA and Director of the University of Buea Library and Information Services, Cameroon, Ms. Andiswa Mfengu, Vice Chairperson of AfLIA Library Education and Training Institutions Section and lecturer at the University of Cape Town, South Africa. Ms. Comfort Asari, Chairperson of AfLIA, of the AfLIA National Library Association Section and President of the Ghana Library Association. Mr. Adonia Katungisa, Director of the National Library of Uganda. On behalf of the AfLIA team, I must pronounce our proficient sense of gratitude to all of our panelists for sharing with us some of the finest experiences they have had in their relations with AfLIA in their various libraries, as well as all the participants for their presence here and for presenting their valuable views during this webinar. No event can be this much successful without people who dedicate their resources and time to make sure that everything goes on as flawlessly as possible. I know that the participants are all inspired by your highly expressed views. I cannot give enough thanks to everyone for their participation in the accomplishment of this webinar on AfLIA membership. What is it? What it has. AfLIA looks forward to working hand in hand with you all in your various libraries in Africa, onward to increase the growth of our AfLIA membership numbers, and also to your library participation in events and programs essential to the development of libraries in Africa. We, the entire AfLIA team, thank you all for being with us. It has remained a pronounced pleasure. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Jones-Arthur. Thank you, participants. Thank you, panelists. You've been awesome. Thank you for your contribution. Let us keep in touch and let's contribute to the Africa we want. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye to all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank
and
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
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 Sorry.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I will end the webinar now.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you so much.